Now, let's take a look at how we can access a file with different users. For example, if we create one file with user 1, and in the Kali Linux, I have created different users, and we will change the user's permission to this file. So first, there's no file in this directory, and I will create a file. Let's say testing access control file 1.txt. If I list it, and I have this access right. So by default, the access right is 6, 4, and 4. And here by default, this is the creator of this file, and this is a group user. It does not list the other users. So if any user does not belong to these two groups, the creators group or the normal group, then it's other users. So now I want to add user 2 to user 1's group. There are two commands I can do it. One is I can change user 1, the group user 1 to user 2. In this case, I have for the group user to be user 2 instead of user 1 group. So how can I change? I can use this group change command, and I provide user 2 as a group name, and then the file 1.txt. Oops, I received an error message. This operation is not permitted. And how can I add user 2 as a group user for file 1? In Linux system, we can do it only by the root user. So here, I log in as root user, and then I can change group user from user 1 file user 2 as group user, and then I provide the file name. Okay, no error message. So let's check. Fine. What you see here for the second field of the user, that's a group user, it becomes user 2 instead of user 1. So here, if I change the access mode, the access right here, if I changed as change mode, I want to add also the read permission to this file to edit the content of the file. Then I can either set group user plus the write permission to file 1.txt. This is one way, like the user 1 as the file creator adds the write permission to group user to this file. And I can do it in Digit as well. So equivalently, I can use change mode. I keep the same here, 6 for the owner, 6 for the group user, and 4 for other users, to file 1.txt. These two commands did the exactly same thing to add the write permission to file 1 for the user 2, the group user. Now, in this case, if I let's try use first user one. Can I add something to the file one as a user one? I can use edit it by user one. I use a double greater sign, this symbol, to append this content to the file in the end. Yeah, it works. So here, if I change to user 3, we know that user 3 has no relation to file 1. So it is treated as other users to file 1. And if I want to do the same thing, edit it by user 3 file 1.txt. Oops, permission denied. The reason is if we check the permission right, user 3 as the group as the other user cannot add content to file 1, cannot write anything to the content of 1 to file 1. What about user 2? So we log in as user 2. I want to do the same thing. Then I have echo edited by user 2 file 1.txt. Permission denied. Excuse me, here it's in the another folder. So I need to change the direct to the correct directory, user 1. So now we are at the correct directory. I use the same command, add this content to the end of this file 1. It seems it works. So if we print it out, we have this last content in the end of file 1. What about I log in as user 3? So I want to do the same command. While I change user 2 by user 3. So it's also in the same folder. User 3 can add this command to file 1. Cat file 1 text. So here I need to check whether user 3 is in the group user because I have changed this relation a lot. So I can use ID user 3. Then it print out some information for user 3. The ID it is within user 3 group, OS boxes, and user 2's group. That's the reason user 3 can also edit, because in this case, user 3 is editing the content of file 1 as a group user. Let me try user 4. So for user 4, here it does not belong to user 2's group. And I may try to use I didn't remember user 4's password, so I will check user 5. So it does not belong to user 2. So I use user 5. And I have the same command edited by user 5 to file1.txt. Oops, I received this error message, permission denied. The reason matches here. So users 5 as the other users to file 1 cannot edit the content of the file. So these are the access rights to text file. So in the end, let's check the access right of other users to a file with the execute this permission. So we can write either a small bash code or small Python code to demonstrate this. In fact, in the lecture, I have written this my hash function, and we can customize the hash function. Like if I want to use a customized hash function, I want to combine, let's say, MD5, MD SHA-1, and the SHA-256, and use these three to output the hash value of a given input. And what I can do with that, I write like echo, then I provide the argument to the command. Then I can use OpenSSL and digest MD5 with dash MD5. So the output over here will be used as input over here. And this output will be used as the input of the subsequent command and digest SHA. Let's see, SHA-1 and OpenSSL digest SHA-512. And I escape it and save it. No file name. I can save as, let's see, customized hash. Now I have saved. This is the file. I didn't provide the suffix, the format of this file. And now if I use, because it's basically the bash script command, I use bash, this command to run this file. And then I provide argument, let's say, cyber security. Then I got this output. This hash function is customized. It first compute MD5 on it. The output will be fed into SHA-1, and then output will be fed into SHA-512. Then we have this output. So here we have the access right is 644. And if we want to run this one as a bash command, then we can edit this file a little bit. Basically, we need to provide the bash path, the path for the bash command to run it directly. Then it starts with this sharp symbol, and then followed by this symbol. Then we have bin and bash. We save it. Now this command, in fact, can be run as customize hash. Then I can provide another, what may be hello. Wow, I got an error here. It's permission denied. So what's the reason? Then we can check. Okay, here. I don't have exactly right for this file. That's the reason. And now I'm running it as the normal user. Then I can use the change mode command to change this permission. The first one as with this exactly right. So it's a 7. The other one, it's a 4 and 4. And customized hash. So after this, if I double check it, I have this exact permission for the user 1 here. Then if I run it customized, now here I can use another, what's the output? Okay, OS. It works. So just a small, the name of, you just provide the path of this file, then you can run it as a program. And here in this small example, I provide the user argument to have more interaction. So this is the X right for the user. So what about for group user? At the moment, we don't have the X, this permission for group user. We don't have X permission for other users. Now, if we add this group user X, customized, and here I log in as user 2. You remember that? Okay, here the group user is still user 1. It's not user 2 yet. Then we need to add this user 2 to the group user as a group user of the customized hash. And previously we have shown you can use the change group and with the group name user 2 and customized this file. But this command can be only operated by the root user. There's another command we can try called the user modify. This user modify user mode. So let's see. Let's check this command. Maybe it's better I use main user mode. This is for modifying a user account. So here it can add a user to the supplementary groups used only with this G option. And let's go down. This G option, it asks for the group. And then let's go further down. We have example here. Maybe we can check user mode help. The list of this option that does not give an example, or you can directly write it like user mode, and then we have this add, and then we have the group user, group name, that's user 1, and username user 2. It says permission denied. So what about I write with the original user? User is user mode a user 1, user 2. Since user 1 is the group user, so maybe user 1 has more permission than user 2 for this command. Oops, no, it does not work. Now we have to change to root user. It's the same command, user mode, and then user 1. Maybe I need to provide user 2 here. Let's see. Let's just try. Okay, it works. And if I check user 2, this ID, user 2, it belongs to this group, and it belongs to this group. User 2. Now in this case, let me try whether user 2 can run this. So here the file, the permission right is added with X to group user. Here user 2 is a group user, and I want to run it and customize hash. I choose OS. Okay, it works. So it means that the user 2 can run this file as a group user. But here you may realize there's an issue here. User 1 can change the mode, access mode for group user, for other users, but the user 1 cannot change the users in the group for this file. So if we want to add new users to this file, it seems that we have to use the root user, which is good for security, but it's inconvenient for users. So is there any other way? Well, yes. Then we can use the more advanced command called set file access list. So in this case, if I, let's say, use, so first get this set the file access control list, customize this file. We have this information. And if I use a set file, let's say I want to add a temporary user into group. Group, and this temporary user is user 3. Let's say it's user 3 in. Let me check whether user 3 is in user 1 group. So from here you see user 3 does not belong to user 1 group. But I added the temporary here, and I provide the access right like give access right X. But in here, I can provide directly the access right. This, let's see, RWX to give user 3 all the permission. Then customized. Okay, here I missed one command, one option. It means that this set file access control list, this command wants to modify the access control, the permission rights to this file. So here I need to provide -m. Now it works if I use this command, get file access control list to customized hash. Now you see here, we have this extra information, which is called effective group. Effective group. If here I add as use U, then it will become effective users. So in this way, the creator of the file can add more users to either the user group or the user category or the group category to grant access to some files to some other users in the system. Now, if I run this, if I want to access this this file with user 3, let's see whether it takes effect or not. Well, we can try customize. So whenever I use a tab and it autocomplete the command or the file name, then it means it already took effect. And I can, let's say, use OX boxes. So it works. So this shows how to add another user in the system by the file creator. Then the file creator or file owner can give extra permission rights to other users in the system. It's more advanced than the basic change group or change ownership, these commands. And in most of cases, we don't want to change the group of the group name of the file, because it's by default, it's bound to the creators group. And we don't want to bother the root user every time when we want to give access right of a file to another user temporarily, right? And finally, let's look at some tricky thing about this X, this permission right to this small code. So here, if I remove change mode, remove, let's say first remove the this write permission to this file, and now we have this. Then let's see whether this group user can still run this application. And we have customized mesh OS. Since the user has this executive right, so the group user 3 can still run this command. But if we further remove some write, is read write to this file. Group user minus read write, and this file. Now the group user can only have this executive permission to this file. And now let's try to run this again. OS. Oops, I cannot run it. Even this group user, like user 3 in this group, has this executive right, it cannot run this application. Well, it has something to do with the system design. For security reason, since this is an application, so the system thinks that if a user, especially a group user, cannot read the content of an application, then this user is not supposed to be able to run it. It makes sense, right? So for the group user, if the user has no idea what this the content of this process and then this user shouldn't be given the executive permission to this file. Even if it is given, then this user shouldn't be able to really run it because it could lead to unexpected consequences. So this is at the system design level to make the system more stable. Even user 1 as a normal user might make some mistake when this when changing the access mode of the file and give unnecessary permission to a user, like in this case. No read permission, but have this access this executive permission, then it's not good for the security. So this permission was banned by the system design.